Dear Lord, I know I start all these the same, but I want you to understand how thankful that I am for every day that I get to spend here, every day that I get a chance to learn more about you, every day I get to become closer friends with the friends and family I already have, while also making new ones and trying to spread your name as much as I can. Lord, I fail all the time. Please forgive me, but I will always continue to try. Lord, I ask that on today's podcast that you help us be heartful. I ask that you help us try to speak as much truth as possible and all that comes with that, Lord. Lord, thank you for forgiving us for all of our sins. And in that, with Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Rooted and Rising podcast. If you don't know who we are, my name's Dylan Hurley, and that is John Reeves. And we start every podcast without asking John Boy how he's doing. Because we got to follow up on it all the way to the point where he's like, well, I got my baby girl here. I got 6 kids. I live in a 35-square-foot house. When in reality, all we're asking for is he's like, dude, I made my relationship with Jesus tight.
Yeah.
Tighter than it could ever be.
Yeah.
How you doing, John Boy?
Doing good. I had an opportunity over the weekend where I let him down. I let Jesus down. Let's just be honest.
No.
And I found myself in the deer stand talking to him as I usually do.
Didn't you let him up?
Huh?
Didn't you let him up then? Because
No.
you're not on the ground.
I was trying to, I let him, when I was on the ground when I let him down.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I found myself up there talking to him about different stuff, and I told him, I said, all right, look, here's the steps I'm going to do today to help me try and be a little bit better, okay, since I know I let you down.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to read a little bit more of my Bible first than I would have normally, and I could picture how much I had to read. And I said, all right, we're going to do more than that today. Because it's not good enough for me to be like, look, I messed up. I'm sorry about that. Which we covered all that. It was like, I gotta give you something. Okay? That's how I felt. Like going off of the instinctual feeling. And so I told myself, what else could I do? You know? Because I try to be careful when I read. I don't want to have food or drink normally. I want to protect my Bible. I'm not trying to mess it up.
Oh, I got you.
So I said, what can I do when I eat dinner? Because I still got to eat dinner tonight. I said,
did you ask for forgiveness?
Yeah.
Then that's all you have to do.
I know, but I felt like I had to take it to the next level.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm following.
So I said, okay, I'm behind on The Chosen.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I'm plugging it, by the way.
Plug it.
And I said, I'm going to watch that while I eat. I'm
Cool.
going to eat some dinner. I'm going to watch The Chosen. And so that's what I did. And I got a few episodes in.
Cool.
And I seen one that me and you had talked about that really got me fired up. And it was funny because it was relatable to the exact moment almost that I had like we were talking about, right? Because it's the episode where they're all arguing.
Okay.
And they're at the fire.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
gosh, I love this show.
Peter.
That's my boy.
It's just he is beating
Matthew
down.
Yeah.
I'm like, golly, is he going to let up on this guy at all this episode? Which he doesn't.
No.
I'm like, this is crazy. And I was like, this is bad.
That hatred is
I
hard.
feel like I look like Peter sometimes, first off.
I'm trying to look like Peter. If y'all have seen The Chosen, the dude's jacked.
Well, I'm saying his actions, I'm like, I got to chill.
Yeah, I know.
And so I'm like, dude, I got to do better. And I'm listening, and they're arguing, and you painted the picture so well before I even got to see the episode. So I'm watching the episode, and Jesus comes in, barely able to walk, and his mom goes over there and she hurries up and helps him, which is like, oh my gosh, your own mom coming over there to help you and to wash your feet so that you can get ready for bed. Skips dinner, goes straight. And I thought, when's the last time I worked so hard that I skipped everything and I went straight to bed? Barely able to make it. And it's been a while. I've had a few of those days that I feel like I've had. And I said, what's the last time I helped people to the point that I was at that level?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then when's the last time I helped people and was trying to spread the good word?
Right.
And was that tired going to bed? I thought, dude, I'm doing terrible out here.
Brother, everybody is.
I know, but it's like, I was like, dang. And I think he was genuinely giving me the opportunity to like try and self-reflect on my actions.
Yes.
Through that, and then what I read later, and it's just like, all right.
You can't deny it.
I said, I see you.
Yeah, right.
You're telling me, all right, dude. we gotta change course.
I'm with you.
But at the same time, he said, I appreciate you coming to me and asking for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, man, you're about to get me worked up. He says, this is what God says. My son, I forgive you.
That's right. God. Yeah, absolute cinema.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, it's awesome.
It's crazy. So, and to know that even like Peter in the show, he'll be forgiven for beating up on Matthew all the time.
Yeah.
If he just can learn, which he ain't figured it out yet.
Yep.
He keeps asking Jesus, and Jesus is like, dude, you're gonna see.
Yeah.
You just need to keep on, and he's giving him little hints. It's too good.
And that's what I hope a lot of Christians will see, because it's not easy.
No.
Jesus saying it'll come.
Yeah.
It's not yet.
Well, and my point is, I hope people are watching this, and it's not just TV for them. Like, I hope they're not just like, all right, everybody get in here, let's watch The Chosen, and they watch an episode, and it's no different than watching.
Oh, dude, I hope it is for the people that don't already believe in Jesus, because at least it's planting a seed.
Well, don't get me wrong. I hope that everybody gets a certain level of joy out of it, because it is a good show.
It's a great show.
Okay, it's like me and you described when we came back from watching the most recent season from the theaters, and there was people who had reviewed it who aren't Christian.
Yeah,
and they were like, even from a non-Christian viewpoint, this is really good.
That's right.
And I was glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that people can enjoy it from even like a Jewish standpoint or whatever. But I do hope that there are people out there who are taking real stuff away from it, like me. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man. I'm like, I see what you're trying to tell me. So I just thought that was really cool.
Oh, I've believed in God for a long time.
Yeah.
And there was some patches where it was kind of rough. Never really lost faith, but it was rough.
Yeah.
But The Chosen makes me want to read it more.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I'll watch it in the show and I'm like, did this really happen? And then it's like I go back and I'm reading Matthew and I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm picturing everybody do the same stuff in the movie. And the movie's not perfectly accurate.
Right,
by all means. Like you said, it's a show.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day. But you can tell the writers are passionate about it on another level as well, of just making it a good show.
100%.
And which I thought was really, really funny, because I remember me and you having a conversation about not every person that plays a disciple in The Chosen is a Christian.
Right.
And that's kind of wild to think about.
That is crazy.
Because this is a show that potentially is changing lives around the world.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's potentially anymore. I think it's true. And to know that some of them are not maybe a follower of Jesus.
Yeah.
But I have to believe them being there. They're like, dude, did this really happen like this? Like, can I go back and read? Yeah. And then Jonathan Rumi, the dude that plays Jesus, he is one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure anytime they ask a question, he's like right there with the Bible. He's like, dude, read this part.
Yeah.
Read this part.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's funny about the whole show is they have a script. It was written 2,000 years ago. It's why Jonathan Rumi's like, spoiler alert, this is what happens.
No, 100%.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this kind of goes off on a different little kind of tangent here.
Yeah.
But that scene where Jesus is walking in and he's beat down and he's barely making it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was reading a comment on I think it was a YouTube video. Okay. It was one night where I was in deep thought, and in the background on YouTube I had like some people call it sounds weird, but it's not. It's like Jesus soaking music, which is like just an instrumental version of like stuff that sounds like Jesus genre. I guess you could call it. I don't really know how you would call it.
Yeah.
Worship music.
Yeah.
But it's not like electric guitars.
Right.
No singing.
Yeah.
Just music.
It's more old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many people in the comments that like tells their stories about things or whatever. And there was a family that was commented, or I should not say it wasn't a family. It was a mom that commented in this YouTube video. And everybody was telling their stories about Jesus and all this other stuff. And she referenced The Chosen in this comment. And I can't remember, and I wish I could remember this person's name because I would shout her out. It's on YouTube. And because I thought it was pretty powerful. But she was like, I listen to this when I feel like I need more Jesus. And some way or another, it's led me to The Chosen. And you would think as the story goes on in this comment, because it was a pretty lengthy comment, that the story was going to end up being something about something she did that helped develop her own relationship within Jesus. But the comment goes a completely 180. She said, ever since I've been watching The Chosen, my son's been watching The Chosen. And he's a little dude, like he's 8 or something like that, I think he was. And it was that scene where he was coming in and he was beat up. She said the next day when they all got together to pray for breakfast, the 8-year-old wanted to pray. And she said the first thing he said after he said, Dear Lord, or however he started it, anything like that, he was like, Jesus, I hope you're having a good day. And I was like, an 8-year-old kid
That's awesome.
is saying that?
That's awesome.
I've never heard anybody in my life in a prayer go, Jesus, I hope you're having a good day. And I'm like, that 8-year-old kid remembered that scene so well that he thought a completely different way than most people, because we all felt sad for him and we all don't want to see him like that or anything like that. And we're like, man, dude, I wish he'd get better. But how many people you think went up to Jesus and asked Jesus, how's your day doing? Because he asked everybody that all the time because he wanted to help people. And there was probably a level of the people that knew he was Jesus was like, there's probably no point in asking him how his day's doing because he is Jesus. But I'm sure he would have probably appreciated it.
Oh, I think he would appreciate it.
Just like I guarantee he appreciate that 8-year-old kid being like, Jesus, I hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was like, dude, that's freaking sick.
That's interesting, your take on it. And you like a lot of other people's take. Mine was different. Mine was very like motivationally based. Like I seen that and I thought, I'm not doing enough.
Interesting.
I thought I definitely could work more in that area.
No, I didn't think that.
And I thought, like this guy, like look at what he's willing to do. What am I doing? I'm not doing near enough. So I need to start making steps towards that level of like commitment.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got to see it yet because there's not going to be episodes. I doubt there's going to be episodes about it. But talking to the level of commitment of his disciples that was with him till the end when they knew how it was going to end for them here.
Yeah.
They had to know it, I think, to a certain degree. And at a certain point, I bet you Jesus was somewhat giving them a heads up that, hey, this is not going to end good for you on earth.
Yeah.
Now, you'll be with me in heaven, which in the end is the end goal. And I doubt, like Jesus went up to Peter and was like, hey, dude, you're going to be hung on a cross upside down because you're following me. You need to know that. I don't think he probably ever went up and said that.
No.
But you just got to ride it out.
Yeah, yeah.
And even when you know, you got to do the right thing all the way to the point to where people's not doing the right thing to you.
Yeah.
So that's a tough thing. And one of the things that we're getting into it kind of late into the pod, but it was, well, no, we're not, is when it becomes to doing the right thing, me and Cammie got in a very interesting discussion about how does one realize when they're maybe doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of wrong things. And I was trying to pinpoint it down from my experiences how one fixes that to where they realize, hey, I might have should have not done this. I might have treated this person wrong. I might need to go do whatever, and it could have been with anything.
Yeah.
It don't even have to be technically with other people. It's going back to what you said last podcast with gambling.
Yeah.
If at a certain point, how do I realize within myself that, hey, gambling's probably not the thing I need to be doing?
Yeah.
And that gets tough. And I wrote down 3 different things, and I'm curious to get your feedback on that.
Okay.
The 3 different ways that one recognizes if they're wrong or incorrect about anything.
Okay.
Number 1, I'll throw that one out there because we're Christians here. It's just how it is prayer. Prayer/God. If you have a relationship with Him, I'm not saying it'll happen all the time. Trust me. There's some people that they might look into it so much where it skews the other way.
Right.
And so you just have to continue to build a relationship with Him, read His Word, and He lays it all out there for you. It's not easy to understand, by all means. I don't understand half of the thing, or probably even a quarter of it. But you got to always continue to try to improve on that. So prayer is number 1. Number 2, I call this the middle lane. This is not so bad,
Yeah.
but it's not so good.
Yeah.
Close people that you really, really value.
Okay.
And I'm not saying just your friends.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying if you are friends with someone at work that you don't hang out with on the regular. I'm not going to say like it's an associate, like you like them, you have a good time with them, or whatever, because they have to really know you before they can bring you back from something that you're spilling away from. And if they don't really know you, and I'm using me as an example here,
Yeah.
more than likely they're going to just go along with you. They're just going to be like, I'm trying to think of an example. I think Richard is a dork because he does this way, or whatever. And you have to have people that you really value, because it's got to almost be that person that it almost gets to the level sometimes of to where it almost creates a free fall in your relationship. But that also involves you to the end being like, this person really loves me, and this is why they're telling me this. And being a good communicator helps out a whole lot. So that's number 2.
Okay.
Number 3, this is the worst one, but it normally happens in some way or not, is some level of trauma that you experience that flips a 180 from anything. And it could be flipping it from bad to good, or from good to bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's always this way, but most of the time, if you're someone that's a heroin addict, I've heard a lot of stories about a lot of people that get out of it when they didn't think they were going to come back anymore. So that's the level of that. And we would hope that people don't get to that level, that you had some sort of prayer or and friend that you could have this conversation with.
Right.
But it's proven to happen time and time again.
Yeah.
Of how things work.
Yeah.
So, you got anything to add to all that, or what's your thoughts on all that, or is there any other way that you think that one can help, or do you want to dive deep into any of those?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something that we may be missing here. There may be another way to notice it. You know, maybe if it's gotten, well, I don't know. I guess that fits into one of the three categories, just the way I'm thinking it out. But I was just thinking, like, if something gets so bad between maybe you and another person to the point where it's like it hits you, but that could go the negative way too, which is real dangerous. Because, like, if it hits you, but it doesn't hit you like, oh, I'm in the wrong. It hits you like.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
It says, oh, I'm doubling down.
And let's just be for real.
Yeah.
99% of people's that way.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just how we're wired because nobody likes to lose.
That's such a tough thing, especially because this is something that I ran into recently where somebody, I talked to him and I tell him that I had this epiphany. It hit me the other day while I was doing whatever, and I was thinking about it, and I can't even remember what it was about now. I'm trying to remember exactly what the conversation was, but the main point was, like, there's only so much that I can do, and so if I do everything right on my end, or that I think is right, and I try to go about everything the best way possible that I could come up with, I don't know anything better I could do, right? Mm-hmm. There may be a better way, but maybe I just don't know it yet. So I've done everything the best of my ability up until now. Then that's it. That's the best I can do.
Yeah.
And there's like, it's up to the other person involved or whatever.
And it's also up to you as a good friend to not build some sort of dislike to them.
Oh, yeah.
For not understanding it.
Yeah, you can't build any malcontent or hatred or anything towards somebody because they're of a difference of opinion. You know what I mean? Or
a lot of people do, though. That's what
I know. But I argued with you just the other day about some stuff, and I could have left and been like, "I can't believe Dylan would ever think that way. How could I be friends with somebody who thinks like that? What? What am I saying? I'm just going to wash out all the fun times we've had for that one argument where it was like he disagreed with what I said."
Right.
So, I don't know. It's very interesting. Like, I think that's a short-term, quick-based judgment system. That's not a long-term.
But we're living in a world where nobody thinks long-term, brother. We got an attention span the size of, like,
I know,
a fish egg.
I'm thinking about TikTok.
I'm telling you.
But let's work. Let's talk about them some more. So I covered the third one a little bit, I guess.
Which was?
The
friendship one?
The friendship one.
Okay.
No, that's the second one. The third one was
trauma.
Like something has occurred that between me and you that is either going to make or break this thing. Something's happened to me, right?
Right, but I don't.
That's like a traumatic event.
Like something like seriously happened to you.
Yeah. Something
gotcha.
like really happened.
Gotcha. Okay, I got you.
Okay, the friend one, there's a lot there really to unpack, I think, because you have to have somebody who you're willing to hear what they have to say. Not only do they have to know you well enough, but they also you have to be willing to hear them out.
Right.
Because, I mean, we've had friends. Shout out to Connor. I got to talk to him a little bit today. And he's one of the guys who I think I knew well enough that we had some difficult talks about, like, personal stuff that he was going through in his life, that he was willing to hear me out, even though I know he was pissed off about it. He was mad.
Yeah.
Over us having to have that discussion because of what I was saying. But at the end of the day, he knows that I'm only saying this because I care.
Right.
And if I didn't love that guy, then, this would be a very different conversation. And that'd probably been it for us, man, because having that brutal, open conversation would have been like the end, because like, you don't know me like that, type of mentality we're going to take instead of, man, why is John saying this to me? Well, I know he cares. He lets me know he cares all the time.
Right.
All right. Maybe he's onto something here. And that's how you make progress in that department.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Talking that out, though, what happens if you don't? You're not making that kind of progress. What happens if they're not willing to hear you out? And what happens if nothing traumatic has happened yet to cause that mental shift? And what happens if they don't have a good faith-based system?
I think in the end it has to fall down to one of those, or
eventually it will. Eventually it will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, like, if you had already like worked your way up to one of those, hopefully one of the first two, hopefully it doesn't fall to the third. I think and that's what I want to call that. It falls to the third. Most of the time it doesn't build up to the third scenario where there's a traumatic event. I think most of the time it falls on that.
Right.
So with that being said, the first one, man, you really got to put all your eggs in that basket. People tell you not to put all your eggs in one basket. You're going to have to put all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're not coming at it from like a 100%, or there's a lot of people who struggle with being 100%. So let's say 80%. If you can't be 80% the way there, man, that's going to be real tough.
Oh, yeah.
Because anything less than that means you have more than 20% doubt, which is probably too much. But, I mean, we all have doubts. But if you're going to have, like, bigger numbers of doubt than you are faith, that's going to be hard to really be able to, I think, reflect on it in a way that's has the potential to be like, all right, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I think you were going to be willing to fight till the end that you were right. Because it's more self-centered.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you have like a faith or a higher power or whatever kind of belief system you use, then you can't be right about everything because something else is, something like there's some set of guideline that shows you what's right.
Yeah.
And I don't know anybody that's like that I have met personally in my life who can tell me I 100%, without a doubt, have never messed up and I'm right about everything.
Oh yeah, there's absolutely. If you have a person like that, you better be locking your doors at night.
Yeah, that's a dangerous one.
That's a dangerous person.
Yeah.
If they truly think that. Yeah, no, I agree with everything that you're saying because, like, I was trying to think of a time that I've done something wrong.
Yeah.
And how I finally recognized that, hey, this is wrong. This is wrong not only to that person's beliefs, this is wrong to my beliefs. And for some reason I'm making it up that it's not. Or that it's okay.
Right.
And like Cammie, an example, is a fantastic wife. And she'll tell me sometimes where she's like, hey, I don't think this is right. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. I was raised this way. I think this was right, and blah 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 blah, and this and that or whatever. And then Cammie was like, yeah, but just because you were raised one way doesn't mean that it's right. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, you could be you could be right.
Yeah.
And the more I sit there and I thought on it, it's hard for me because you don't want to go against that because that's what you were raised on. And it's not that it's insinuatingly bad either.
Right.
Like, because there's going to be that one group of people that's like, dude, right on. I'm with you on this side.
Yeah.
But then the true ones is like, hey, if this is what you believe, really look into that and see if this goes along with that. And I was like, because I don't think I've been very, very blessed with, I don't think I've had a moment of trauma, really, that's made that big of a life difference to me.
Yeah.
Or let alone change something that I've done that's maybe not good. Like, there was a period of time where I was almost like waiting for a heart attack from drinking so much caffeine. But, and I was like, Jesus is going to do it to me one day. He's going to be like, dude, you're going to have to chill out. And this is a heart attack right there. It hasn't happened yet. Knock on wood. I'm super glad, but I haven't been drinking as much. So I'm good.
Yeah.
And I've been very, very blessed to have the prayer aspect of it all.
Yeah.
But it's why we always come down to the end of this thing.
Yeah.
That if you're not somebody that believes, we encourage you to just look into it. Watch The Chosen, something of that nature. But I also encourage you, almost to the same amount, find some good friends.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be the ones that's going to pick you up when you fall off the boat. And Jesus could be that person too, because he walks on water. But on the days he's having to pull somebody else out of the water, even though he can do it multiple times, it's nice to have a buddy in the boat next to you that can reach in there and get you out of the water.
And I think it's important to say, to have ones that are like people talk about having a real one.
Yeah.
I think the difference between having like a real one and somebody who's real close, they're in the 90 percentile of being there, is the difference between, are you 100% being yourself and being truthful, or are you hiding a couple of things? Maybe you've been 98% of the way there with that person, but you can't go to 100 because you know, or you want to hide something because you feel like you're going to get judgment for it, versus having a real one. I just did air quotes for anybody listening. You just come out and you say it, and you're like, maybe it is stressful, maybe it is awkward, maybe you do have anxiety about it, and maybe they're going to have to carry some of that weight with you now. You may tell them something, and they're going to be like, me and Dylan talked about this, where it changes the way they look at you a little bit. And me and the guys had some honest conversations where I've told him something and I thought, and he hits me with something and I go, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But I've said it now. And he really knows, because he knows me. He knows I ain't going to BS. And I go, all right. So based on his feedback, I should never do that, because the reaction I got, I did not like. And he gave me, being a real one, he gave me real feedback. And I was wrong for what I had said that I would do. I never did it, but he asked me, what would you do in this scenario? I said, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. And he goes, that's bad. Yeah. And I'm like, is it? And he goes, 100%. Not even, you don't even have to ask me again. Yes, it's bad. Yeah. And I go, yikes. So then I have to ask myself, all right, I might have been wrong on that. What was I wrong about? Okay, well, we talked about it. Okay, well, this is what he disagreed with. Okay, well, that's where I went wrong then. You know, that moment in the conversation. Right. Where there was like this huge shock factor, and it's like, got it.
And you have to be willing to look into that shock factor. Yeah. Versus just blowing it off and being, no.
Right.
That's not it. Like, you're like, no.
Yeah, well, like, if I say something and you give me like a dog, that's not okay. Yeah. And we could feel the energy in the room shift. Yeah. I have to be like, okay, why did it change? Did he?
And not, you have to be like that and then not get mad at it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's the deal. I'm trying to think. We had a real conversation like that before, and I defended it at first. I'm like, no. I'm like, well, what about this? And you said, still not right. I said,
And I've probably been the same way, because everybody.
I said, well, that's not gonna.
And 99% of the world wants somebody else that agrees with them.
Oh yeah, I was looking for when I hit you with my rebuttal, I was looking for you to be like, well, yeah, and that was going to be my scapegoat, right?
That's right.
And when you didn't let up, you said, no, still not okay. I said, dang it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to sit, yeah, in the fact that not only was I, because we're tight enough for me to say it, but looking back on it, God, it's so good that I had a friend that I'm 100% with, that I talked about an instance. This isn't even something that actually happened, right? This is just something that I was worried about based on, like, historical family data. This is something my dad did. I don't want to go down that path.
Yeah, for sure.
How do I avoid it?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, what did he do? And I tell you, and you're like, well, don't do this. And I'm like, well, what about if this happens? Still not okay.
Still not okay.
I'm like, got it.
Yeah,
Dang. I'm like, that's tough. And so having somebody that I could genuinely bounce that off of, and base off of somebody who I think would have a good, based on their track record up until now. Maybe not the longest track record, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
And then I could say, okay, well, who's somebody like that? Who's somebody like Dylan? Okay, well, they haven't done that either. Okay, somebody else. They haven't done that either. Okay, somebody who has done that. Okay, I hear bad things. Mm-hmm. They even admit to me that they've been wrong. Okay. That's all the proof you need right there. When I can literally call out in my mind people who've done it and who haven't. And it's like, yikes, which boat do I want to be in?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I have to ask you to hold me accountable. And I know you will.
Right.
And then I also have to ask the Lord to help me walk the path that I see. Okay, bad and good. Let's help me on this good one, please. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And he's going to give me opportunities to fall into the bad one. But I think that's the trap sometimes people don't realize is he gives you opportunity to do both.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, who's going to take advantage of you is different. The devil's going to capitalize on you doing the bad. But he's not going to close that door. He's not going to say, don't jump off that cliff, John.
Yeah.
He's going to say, here's a better opportunity instead of jumping off the cliff.
Yeah.
He's not just going to grab you up and be like, well, you jumped, but I got you anyways.
Yeah.
He's like, that was bad. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
He's like, that was not a good choice.
It's like,
and the devil's going to capitalize on the way down.
You just said something that I said before in a moment where I thought I was right and I was wrong. And it was a prayer to the big man.
Yeah.
I said, God, let me walk this.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to be with me and so I can walk this line.
Yeah.
And then I figured out real quickly later that day, the prayer should have never been, Lord, help me walk this line. The prayer should have been, Lord, help me walk your line.
Yeah, that's the one.
And then after that, and because that's going back to the number one thing, Jesus literally says, give me all your burdens.
Yeah.
He literally says that. Like, that's in red in the Bible.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much more simple it needs to be than that. And that looks completely different to everybody. Lone cough.
Yeah.
But understand that when he says that, that means everything.
You want to know how long I've struggled with that exact thing? I've heard many people tell me that over the years. I think my grandma, my mom, my aunt. My aunt really calls out to me in my mind, though. I can remember us being in the car together. She was taking me to school for whatever the reason was. I could probably tell you a myriad of stories where she's had to take me to school. At one point, it was just because she lived close and staying at your aunt's house, But I remember riding to school with my aunt, and I was nervous. I make myself sick. I get so worked up over stuff. And she goes, what's wrong? I said, I am sick over this. I'm so nervous. And she goes, you're going to have to give it to the Lord. Yep. You're going to have to give it to Jesus.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
I was like, Aunt Cheryl, I'll call her out.
Shout out Aunt Cheryl. I don't know who you are, but you're a pimp.
She's a pimp.
Yep.
And I said, I don't know what that looks. I don't know how to do it. I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. I said, people told me this before. What are you talking about?
Right.
I think I was in middle school, by the way. So here I am as a middle schooler wrestling with this. I've always enjoyed the fact that I think I've wrestled with some pretty heavy stuff like that because they were willing to lay it on me, which is good.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to do that. And so she says, John, you just have to tell him what is it? What is it that's on you? You have to tell him about it, and you have to ask him, Lord, I'm going to turn this over to you. I'm going to ask you to take this, and I'm gonna give it up.
Yep.
I'm going to be done with it. That is the hard part. When she hit me with that one, I'm like, that's not happening.
Yeah,
I was like, how do you want me to do that today?
Yeah.
You're just going to give it to him?
Yeah, yeah.
I said, what are we talking about? Now, this was probably whenever we weren't the tightest.
Right.
During college, I think we really bonded, me and JC. But at that point in my life, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just going to give it to him? And then what does he care? That was the other thing that I used to struggle with. I understand differently now, but I'm like, let's say it was middle school problems. I'm like, I got a test today, and I don't know. I was talking to this girl in PE.
Nice.
I wanted to hang out at lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even dating. I'm saying, like, we're talking about middle school problems. Like, I thought about,
yeah.
like, maybe we could hang out at lunch.
Yeah.
What am I doing? You're worried sick over it. He don't care about my test. Good Lord, What are we, 7th grade history?
Yeah.
He's got bigger fish to fry. This is what I'm telling
it.
myself. But if you get in that habit young, and if you realize, man, he loves you, and he really does want that burden.
Right.
He really is that guy.
Yeah.
He really is that guy.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's going to take all of the burden.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a big one.
Yeah.
To you, like, if you think, man, I've done way worse. Or there's somebody out there who needs more help than me. Nah, fam. We all need help.
Yeah.
And he's there to shoulder it. So, and right alongside you, may I say.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just like, I don't even know, like, it just goes off in the ether. I've been using that one a lot recently. Like, he's walked that same road.
Yeah.
Right? He has had to fight off the same sins and worries as a person, which blows my mind. But that's something we always talk about, the personal side of it.
32, 8 years old, dude, never sinned.
Go!
What are we talking about right now?
That's a man right there. That's a strong individual.
I know, and he even joked.
He had fun.
I know.
And he's taking the weight.
Yes. That's so
fighting the sin. So
the one thing that I want to say to this is, like I said, we'll always preach Christianity on here because it's huge to us.
Yeah.
The other thing I will say, if you're not somebody that's a believer yet, and you're skeptical about things, there is people out there.
Yes.
Good people.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about specific people. I'm talking about good people because there is good people out there.
In general.
In general. There's good people out there that can help you with that load.
Yes.
And it's up to you to also understand that they are doing that. Because a lot of people get taken for granted for doing that.
Yes. 100%.
I have we've talked about it here before, and I'm not going to say it on here because it's just personal to me, but I wrote my own prayer. Kind of like, the prayer that when you play basketball, everybody sits down and they write the Lord's Prayer and whatever. Well, I was like, one day I was like, this is between me and the big guy.
Yeah.
And I said, so this is going to be my prayer. Nobody ever has to see it except maybe my kid when I die.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing that I can leave behind for my kid is at least, or anybody, I guess in the end, is something, if I do not already pronounce it enough, to know that I had faith in the big guy more than anything. But there's a part in there that I believe is part of what Jesus asked me to do, that I literally have to ask out in prayer to him. That's like, I need your help helping people. That's what I need.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this with you by my side, or I can't do it. And me and the big guy have talked about it, and that's why we've said on here, if you ever go through anything or anything you want to talk about something, there's a comment section. Now, granted, I understand everybody in the world sees it, but I will talk back on that. Like, I love comments.
Yes.
Whether they're deep, funny, I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Put them in there. And I said, because I guarantee, I can't promise it, but I can guarantee, if it's anybody that's watching this video that sees that comment, they got your back too. Because I would hope there's not just a bunch of bad attitude people that want to watch the world burn that watches our podcast.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that's the demographic.
I doubt it.
Yeah. We're hoping not. That's what we're saying.
And I hope there's a certain level of people that may not have it figured out, and we don't either. Let's make that clear. We don't have this figured out.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, nobody does. The older you get, the more you figure out. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
They just make it along.
Oh, yeah.
So understand that most of the time for you to get to the point that like John Boyd's been talking about when it becomes a friend, you have to give something up for them to also give something up to where you can build that connection. It's like I need to bring a graph in here. I talk about this all the time, and I think people, if you don't understand it, you need to understand it. And I need to actually put this at the start of the podcast so people can start understanding.
Hit them with it.
It is the risk of life chart. And it sounds dangerous. It sounds dirty.
Oh.
It sounds like you're going to be scared crapless.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a part of you that will be. But all this graph shows is in anything you do in life, anything, doesn't matter, relationship, job, whatever. When you give more, meaning you give yourself, you give your thoughts, you give whatever, it unlocks another part of the graph to where it can go higher. Let's say friendship. Also understand, it unlocks a low part down there too. So the risk slowly gets bigger.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that because it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it to look for good people, find something bigger in yourself to believe in, so you don't ever get to the trauma part.
Yeah. I think I've had some interesting moments throughout my life.
No.
But, oh, yes. But good people from the jump, very thankful for that, helped along that path. And I, personally, because I'm a believer, I think that he orchestrated that. He knew that, okay, if this guy doesn't have some people, now it's up to me to listen still.
Yeah.
But if he gave me the opportunity to have the people to tell me this stuff.
Yep.
Where it's like, hey, if you'll just listen to what they're telling you, you don't even have to understand it, but if you'll just listen and try to figure it out, it'll work out.
Yeah.
And I've had some crazy lows throughout my life. Some of them, ironically, were different. And like if I told you everything good and bad that's ever happened to me, you would be like, dude, some of your worst moments were later in life over like smaller things. This was how I think people would interpret it.
Yeah, yeah.
But they were big to me.
Absolutely.
And using these support systems like we just discussed and unlocking those different levels, I think at a quicker rate. Like I think there was a couple years there where I had some really accelerated growth as a person.
Yep.
That caused me to have the potential for that next level of a low I hadn't experienced yet.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, how do I get out of this? Circle back to those good people.
There you go.
And that's what I did. And it was a huge help. So really look for some good people because, man, it can make the world a difference.
Yep.
For you, for everybody else. And there was something else you had said that I wanted to touch on, but I can't remember what it was. But I'm trying to think. It's lost. It's fine. But
it's all good.
It's all good. But I think we covered some good topics.
Yep.
And I think we covered those in a way that actually had measurable steps to like go and like do.
Yeah,
like,
and you could definitely, dive deeper because I already know what people's going to say, and I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where do you find good friends? I understand that.
Well, let me put a pin in that real quick.
Put a pin in that.
Here's one of the steps to getting better friends. You're going to have to put your pride to the side. I'm a person who carries a lot of pride in certain things, and can sometimes be, I've been known to be big personality and whatnot, and so a lot of pride, a lot of ego and opinion that I have to put that to the side to make progress, to unlock in those deeper relationships with those people. I had access to them, but if I'm not willing to put my own personal whatever aside, then we would have never got to that next level as friends.
Right. Because good friends, this is what I'm going to leave everybody with. Good friends should think the same way of Jesus is. Doesn't matter what you do right, you're still good with us.
Yeah.
Because you can ask for forgiveness. Strive to do better.
Yeah.
Because that's what all good friends want to see the other good friends do.
Yeah, and don't think that they won't be disappointed.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's a certain amount of weight that comes with doing wrong.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
but just like Jesus, we love everyone, and
Yeah.
we want to see people succeed.
Yes.
All the time.
All the time.
So, guys, thanks for watching the podcast. It's been a good one.
It has been a good one.
And we are going to go eat some lasagna and then probably die after that because it does not do good with me. So I might actually eat some eggs. But with all that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all watching the podcast.
Yes.
If you've made it this far,
Boom.
If you have,
Boom.
Like and subscribe.
Boom.
Go shout out to John's aunt.
And Cheryl.
Yeah. And that's all I got for the people.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're out. Later.